Dun Shows World.
Welcome to Show's World, gamers. Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at this week's biggest news stories, this week's gaming announcements, and a few of this week's new video game releases. But if this is your first time on the channel, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this week in review with a few news stories. Now we are going to start with D23, the huge Disney event where we find out the future of basically everything Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and more, including the theme parks, the movies, the games, toys, and just so much more. They kind of have everything here. But we also got a bunch of info about the new partnership between Disney and Epic Games, with Pixar and Disney villains character skins coming to Fortnite later this year, new Star Wars skins coming soon, and the Marvel-inspired Season 4 Absolute Doom, which released this week, along with some new Deadpool and Wolverine skins. Then we found out that Tango Gameworks, the company behind the awesome, super stylized, surprise hit Hi-Fi Rush, which I absolutely love that game, well, they're still alive. Reports a while back from Microsoft had unveiled that the developer was being shut down, but in a surprise announcement this week, we found out that both Tango Gameworks, along with the Hi-Fi Rush IP rights, have been purchased and revived by the publisher Krafton Inc. Now, the Borderlands movie is looking like it's going to be just an absolute huge flop, with it receiving the worst review scores so far in 2024 and only reaching an 8.8 million US opening weekend against its $150+ million budget. CEO of Gearbox, Randy Pritchard, did comment on the film on X, stating, "So what you're saying is, you like what my friends and I do with our Borderlands video games even more than you like what some of the biggest and best cast and crew of filmmakers on the planet have done. I'm super flattered. We're working extra hard for you on what's next." And if you notice how he spelled "for" as the number 4, he is hinting at the next game in the series, Borderlands 4. Alright, next up, let's take a look at some gaming announcements. Now, the Nightling received an announcement trailer this week. In the game, you will play as the Nightling, a young brave knight in training who must embark on a daring quest with his sword and oversized shield to rescue his mentor. The action-adventure platformer looks like a lot of fun, and it is scheduled to release on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series systems. Now, Bakaru received an announcement trailer, as well as a release date announcement of September 3rd, as well as a demo that dropped on the Switch, which we did play here on the channel, so I will link that video at the end of this one. The game is a colorful 3D action platformer that has you battling across a fairy tale version of Japan. The game is scheduled to release on the Nintendo Switch and PC, and there's kind of a little bit of everything when it comes to the gameplay here, and this game's pretty fun, so definitely check out that video. Now, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Stunt Mayhem also received an announcement trailer this week, along with the release date of October 18th on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. The game is an arena-based game that can be played either solo or local split-screen multiplayer, with multiple game modes including career, stunt, destruction, and a boss mode, with numerous arenas in which to wreak havoc and signature moves for each vehicle. Now, Gravelord was officially revealed in a fast action classic looking first person shooter trailer that also shows off some card mechanics. The game is a fast paced boomer shooter that draws inspiration from that high octane Quake gameplay and is voiced by a badass protagonist in the style of the Duke Nukem games. It also features handcrafted levels with secrets and hordes of enemies to kill. Now, Retro Realms announced 2 classic side-scrolling beat-em-up games coming this fall just in time for Halloween on October 18th, and pre-orders are live now. The games are a Halloween game where you play as Michael Myers and an Ash vs. the Evil Dead game, with both games releasing on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. Alright gamers, let's finish up with this week's new video game releases. Now, EA Sports Madden 25 released this week on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. This year's version of the official NFL football game, visually, the game looks very impressive and has new physics-based tackling system. After the huge success of NCAA Football 25, I mean, that game was gone for a decade, and it'll be interesting to see how that affects the sales of Madden 25, because the NCAA 25 has been a huge hit so far. Now, Kenna Bridge of Spirits finally released this week for the Xbox One and Xbox Series systems. The game originally released back in 2021 for the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, as well as on PC. The game is a story-driven action-adventure combining exploration and fast-paced combat. You play as Kenna, a young spirit guide in search of the sacred mountain shrine. Now, Phantom Spark is a futuristic, exhilarating, high-speed racing game that will test your limits. The game will remind you of games from franchises like F-Zero as well as Wipeout, but the graphic style and music is kind of like Zen-like. The game is available now on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, and PC. Alright gamers, that concludes this weekend review for the week ending on August 16th. The week started with D23 unveiling, some awesome announcements, and first looks at a bunch of Disney Pixar, Star Wars, theme park, and Marvel future projects. Then reports started swirling from multiple sources that the Switch 2 may not be releasing until April of next year at the earliest. And the week ended with Madden 2025 releasing, meaning here at Shows World, the Las Vegas Raiders are about to win another Super Bowl. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today gamers. Shows World, out.